I am Mark Daniels Jr.
Hey guys, Kristine Fischer here.
G'day guys, Carl Jocumsen here, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro.
This is episode 2 of Fishing for a Living. And today's episode is going to be a little different. And honestly, it might be one of the most valuable episodes that I'll ever make. Because this one features 4 absolute giants in the fishing world. Between KVD, MDJ, Kristine Fischer, and Carl Jocumsen, you're looking at over 70 years of combined tournament experience, more than $9 million in documented tournament winnings, 4 Bassmaster Classics, 7 Anglers of the Year, 6 Red Crest appearances, the first Australian Elite Series champion, the first woman to ever win the Hobie BOS Tournament of Champions, and over 60 national level top 10s in kayak fishing alone. And at the Yeti Open, I asked each of them one question. What's your advice for someone who wants to fish for a living? And this is what I got. They each gave me about a 1-minute answer, and in this episode, we're breaking down their playbook together. These aren't YouTube comments. These aren't TikTok opinions. This is KVD, Kevin VanDam. This is MDJ, Mark Daniels Jr. This is Kristine. This is Carl. Some of the most accomplished anglers on the planet, telling you exactly what it takes to build a life on the water. And after every soundbite, I'm giving you my 2 cents. What's real, what's practical, and how you can actually start putting their advice to work. This is Fishing for a Living, and today, the pros are teaching me and you.
So when I first started out, my grandfather said, man, you are crazy thinking you can make a living at fishing. And, you know, if you believe in yourself and you put the work in, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. And if you look at the back of my Tundra on the cap, there's a saying there, it's all about the attitude. If you go into things with a positive attitude, good things happen. If you're going to have a bad attitude, nothing good's going to happen. So believe in yourself, push yourself, put the work in, and the sky's the limit.
I think anyone that's listening can say, you know, KVD saying this, it hits a lot different. It's the most decorated angler, basically of all time, the actual GOAT. And even he heard the same line we've all heard. You're crazy if you think you can make a living fishing. It's wild how universal that is. The biggest names in the sport, they got the same doubts as us, same pushback, and the same resistance from people around them. People told KVD he was crazy. There was doubt that came from people that he loved. And they're not trying to be negative, they're trying to protect you from risk, just like a lot of people around you will always do. But that protection becomes a cage if you listen to it too closely. You just get those thoughts in your mind that maybe they're right, maybe I am crazy, maybe it's not possible. It ain't the case. Even KVD's own grandfather, he didn't see KVD's vision. Just imagine what would have happened if he listened to his grandfather and him saying, this is crazy. How wild is that? The GOAT, hearing you're crazy from his own family member. For me, when I told people I was leaving my career, marketing, working for some of the biggest brands in the world, the corporate world, to chase this full time, same reaction. You're crazy. What does that even mean? My family members, it's hard for me to even explain to them what I'm doing. You know, it's scary. It really is for them. For me, most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life. And the truth is that sometimes crazy, it just means you're doing something that they've never seen before, just don't understand. Something that KVD also said that I really liked, and I say this often too, if you believe in yourself and you put the work in, there is nothing that you cannot accomplish. And coming from me, maybe it's just like this motivational fluff. You think you're hearing just some other motivational speaker, but coming from KVD, That's the gospel, baby. He didn't win because of natural talent. The guy won because of commitment, because of hard work, because of dedication. Yes, he is an incredibly talented angler, but what he has more than most people is dedication. He won because he out-prepared, out-studied, and outworked everybody. Just like me, I had a decade of work in marketing, like setting me up for this journey right now. Those were all the reps that I put in beforehand. My Arkansas move, yes, it was partially because of a situation with my family, but this leap that I took, it was a leap of belief, and it's been a leap of just absolute hard work that, again, has been so fulfilling. In every video, every brand deal that I make, every tournament that I fish, that is belief, that is work, that is preparation meets opportunity, and that's what so many people call luck. And maybe I'll quote this one more often, but you really can't affirmation your way into a dream. You've got to outwork the versions of yourself who are already ready to quit before they even started. Again, with KVD, he says a lot of things that I really like and that I personally say often, but coming from KVD, I want y'all to believe him. I want y'all to believe me too, but come on, it's the GOAT. It's all about attitude. A positive attitude makes good things happen, and a bad attitude, nothing good happens. For KVD, what I've learned from him over years is that his competitive secret is that tournament fishing is 70% mental. At least one lost fish can unravel somebody mentally. You can just fully get spun out. But KVD, he don't let one bad thing become 5. And that's a good attitude. And the same idea applies to building a brand or becoming a creator or whatever your dream is. If you show up with a defeated attitude, your content's going to feel that energy. If you see every obstacle as an opportunity, you innovate. If you stay positive through the grind, you're going to build momentum. And just like me, I've had tough times mentally, but I've gone to therapy for the past 3 years consistently every other week. And I've learned that belief, it's very much a learned skill. Attitude, it takes work because it's something that you control internally. The only person that controls their emotions, their feelings, yourself. So I've had to build this muscle over years, and I'm telling you, it takes work. It's hard work, it's dedication to be a better person. And I want to leave you with something that you already heard from KVD, but believe in yourself, push yourself, put the work in, and the sky's the limit. Come on. When the GOAT, the greatest angler of all time, says belief and attitude are the keys, you just don't argue. You listen. Because if his sky had a limit, he's blown way past that sky.
Hey guys, Kristine Fischer here. Few words of advice if you are looking to quit your 9-to-5 or you just want to chase any passion or dream that you have. I've got a couple of things. I've been doing this self-employed for over 10 years now. Number one, do not be afraid to fail. Every entrepreneur, everybody that goes after a dream, they don't call it, it's not easy. It's never going to be easy. You're going to have to fail over and over and over again. Everybody does, but 90% of people that fail don't get back up. They quit and go back. They don't think they can hack it. If you believe in yourself, don't be afraid to fail. Get back up. And that brings me to point number 2. It is a ridiculous amount of sacrifice and hard work. I come from a very humble blue-collar family, entrepreneurs myself, and my grandpa and my mom and my dad. And the one thing they instilled with me, if you work your tail off and you believe in something, you can truly accomplish anything you want to. Last thing, you guys, keep good people in your corner. I cannot emphasize that enough. I have a rock-solid faith and a rock-solid group of people that are close to me that help me drown out all the negative voices, that help lift me up. Find a small circle of people that are successful, that are believers in what you're doing. Keep them close.
Kristine. Kristine is someone I've looked up to for probably 10 years now. I, at one point in my career, was the digital editor for Kayak Fishing magazine. And Kristine came up as a name often, really often. That was 9 years ago now, 8 or 9 years ago now. She's one of the most respected grinders in all of fishing, kayak or a boat. And the fact that she is saying this means pay attention, because she hasn't just lived this as advice, she has survived it. And point number one for her was, don't be afraid to fail. You are going to have to fail over and over and over and over again. But 90% of people that fail, they don't get up. They don't get back up. They just don't do it. And that's the difference from people that don't make it and the people that do make it. It's the most honest thing that anyone's going to tell you that's already been successful. And it's that failure is not an obstacle. It's literally built into the path. Failure is part of the journey. And she's talking about a lot of failures when she says failures. And I'll tell you all mine too someday. She's talking about the tournaments where she blanked, the long drives home where you're just sitting in your head, the what am I doing with my life moments. I'm sure there's plenty of times she asked herself that. And like I've mentioned, I've had plenty of failures as a human being, as an angler, a creator, an entrepreneur, as a dad, a husband. I've had plenty of YouTube videos that flopped. I have been a donator to tournament fishing for my tournament career. I've had a lot of brand deals that have been unsuccessful. I've pitched lots of brand deals that have just not gone through. And that's fine for me, because 1 in 100 of those brand deals is going to work. And that's what I'm grinding for. The bites that I've missed while I'm tournament fishing, while I'm not tournament fishing. I can't even count how many of those there's been. And failure, it's not the opposite of success. It's the entrance fee to success. Kristine's second point, it's a ridiculous amount of sacrifice and hard work. I can tell you that from experience. I haven't been in this full time for 10 years like Kristine has, but this is the part that no one wants to tell you about, that you're not going to hear all the time on social media. But people want that lifestyle. They want that travel. They want the photos. They want this cool, lavish life, getting to fish every day. But they don't want the sacrifice. Sacrifice looks like long hours, staying up till 2 a.m. editing, long drives, tens of hours just to get to a tournament, lonely days where there's no one sitting beside you in that truck after the loss in a tournament. The financial uncertainty. I'm not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks anymore. Being misunderstood by your family, by your friends, by people around you saying, this is a dumbass idea. Missing events, whether it's holidays, birthday parties, football games for your kids, family time. The list goes on. You got to make sacrifices, and they're going to be big. But if you want this dream bad enough, you've got to make sacrifices. And I'll leave you with my own quote from this, but everybody wants the dream. Nobody wants the sacrifice. But the sacrifice, that is the dream. It's the evidence that you care enough to chase it. Woo! Point 3, that deal hits hard. That deal hits real hard, especially right now. I am in a boat. There's no kayak in here. If y'all know what I'm talking about from a kayak fishing perspective, good on you. If you don't, look it up. But find a small circle of people who are successful, who believe in what you're doing, and you better keep them close. This is a huge one. Massive. This is probably the most important one from my perspective that she dropped for us. The wrong people, they're going to kill your dream faster than failure ever will. As much as people say that sticks and stones might break my bones, but words will never hurt me, I'm telling you for a fact that words can hurt you. Sure, you have to be able to control your emotions, your feelings, the outcomes of things. Keeping people that have negative talk, that don't believe in you, that are negative to other people, are bad to other people around you, that is a quick and fast way to fail. You might have to make your circle smaller, but that's part of living the dream. And I've had a lot of people in my personal corner that have helped me. My wife believes in this. She believes that this is my can't not do. I got to a point in my life where I couldn't keep going up the ladder in my corporate marketing career. I made a lot of money. I was successful. I grew teams from scratch. All the cool stuff that people see from outside and say, dang, you got a job at that company? You got to do that? I'm telling you, it's not always what it looks like from the outside. My therapist has been in my corner. Obviously, I pay him to do that, but he's helped me change my mindset over the past couple of years, because we're the only ones that control our emotions, our feelings, the way we act, the way we react. And for me, that is one of the most important pieces of this whole journey for me, because yeah, there are some bad days. There are some times where I think this is freaking stupid that I'm doing this, that I'm putting my family at risk, that I'm putting my future at risk. But I know for a fact that this is my can't not do. I have a community on Instagram, on all my social platforms, that I feel more trust in as well than I do in a lot of people that are actually physically in my life. So those are the people that show up every day in my DMs, on my posts. We talk all the time. Those are the people that support me. And I've kept that circle of those few people that I talk with every single day pretty small, because they are positive. They lift me up. Whenever I ask questions, they're right there, ready to give me some feedback, whether it's good feedback or it's, no, this is a bad idea. They're true. They're real with me. And I'm telling y'all, Kristine just gave you that unfiltered blueprint for how to make this work. Don't fear failure, embrace sacrifice, and protect your circle. And coming from someone who's built their entire career from scratch, no shortcuts, no backing out, no handouts, that's advice you take seriously. This, Kristine's journey, is what the path really looks like. It ain't just highlight reels. It ain't those cool Instagram edits where she's catching massive muskie. It's this.
What's up, people? I am Mark Daniels Jr. Fished the Major League Fishing Bass Pro Tour. Been doing that for about 7 years now. Prior to that, fished the Bassmaster Elite Series for 2 years. And prior to that, the FLW Tour is where I got my start. My piece of advice to somebody wanting to get into the industry, regardless of what it is you want to do, you want to be a competitor, you want to make content, you want to sell boats, whatever it is, it's going to be a very hard road, an uphill battle with a lot of naysayers in between, a lot of, we call them haters these days, a lot of just negative energy to try to deter you from pursuing your passion and your dream. I'm going to tell you to just make sure that you keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused, and follow through. And it's going to happen.
Dude, I love MDJ. Mark Daniels Jr. is an awesome angler. He's a breath of fresh air in the sport of competitive bass fishing. The guy is always positive. He tells it like it is. And that's why I love his answer. Whether you're trying to fish tournaments, start a business, create content, the very first thing you run into, it ain't success. I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be the haters. MDJ is telling us straight up, it's gonna be a hard road and it's gonna be an uphill battle. This industry is small. It's gonna be hard work and it's competitive. I got this guy over here, that guy over here. You think he's doing better than you. You think that you got to up-level your content. You think you got to put out more content because there's a lot of competition out there. And it's very much misunderstood. Relationships are super important in this industry. Being a good person, having integrity, all of those things are going to amount to you being successful. And from the outside, all these people that just see the highlight reels, they're watching this right now, they think this is all fun and games. They think I'm going fishing every day. They think my life is beautiful, that I'm already making a ton of money, that, I got support and backing from my family and a monetary perspective. Bro, it ain't the case. I'm telling you right now, from the inside, this is a grind. Early mornings, late nights, long drives, making the relationships, doing the hard things that people don't see. And boy, MDJ hit you with that realness. He said a lot of naysayers, a lot of haters, a lot of negative energy is going to try to deter you. Man, people hate ambition, especially when you're trying to chase the same dream that they have. They're going to come to you and say, "Oh, dude, I tried that. It's really hard. It's really, really hard." They hate seeing someone break out of the 9 to 5, break out of what they're struggling with right now. They hate being reminded that they have that fear of not chasing a dream. And I'm telling you, they're going to share that fear with you. They're going to tell you, "Bro, are you sure you should be doing this? Are you sure that's a good idea? Are you even going to make money?" I'm telling y'all, it's going to happen. If you try to do this, they're going to come out of the woodwork. People you haven't talked to for years, they're going to tell you, "Oh, bro, I tried to start an Instagram account." Or, "Oh, bro, I tried to start a bait company." Bro, you ain't them. I'm telling you, you are not them. The difference in this industry from one guy to the next, the successful guy to the unsuccessful guy, is the unsuccessful guy, he never, ever quit. He listened to those haters. And guess what he said to them in the back of his mind, or maybe to their face? "Cool, man. Keep watching. And just you wait until you become successful. You got those 100K followers. You make the Bassmaster Elites. You got a successful bait company. You get that industry job that you've always dreamed of. Those haters are going to come back and say, 'Damn, I know that guy.' Just you wait. I'm telling you. You get that placement on TV. You're in the top 10 on the Elite Series. And you got that camera on your boat on Sunday. I'm telling you right now, they're going to look over to their wife when they're watching the Elite Series, when they're watching Sunday finals, and they're going to say, 'Hey, man, hey, wife, I know that guy. I've fished with him before. I went to school with him.' Cool, bro. How about when I wasn't there yet? You remember that? You remember telling me that was a crazy idea?" Yeah. They're going to be there. I'm telling y'all. And man, just like every single one of these people that we're talking to, keep your eyes on the prize, stay focused, and follow through. Every single person is going to tell you that. It takes hard work. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. And you got to keep focused. Do not let those haters, do not let your family, do not let other opinions of what you're doing get you away from that goal. You gotta stay focused, man. You gotta stay focused. Because follow through, it's gonna separate the dreamers from the doers. You gotta start. You gotta dabble. And you gotta follow through. For me, that means daily content in the month of November. It's crazy. Like, it's hard. I'm already unsuccessful at doing it every single day, but I'm telling y'all, I'm doing it. I'm doing it as hard as I possibly can with what my body will allow me to do. I'm doing this thing. I'm fishing tournaments regardless of how many times I've lost. I'm podcasting regardless of the fact that I've never done this before in my life. I'm showing up for myself. I'm going to therapy twice a week so I can be a better me. For my family, for my wife, for my son. Because focus is what turns passion into profit. And what MDJ is saying, it's really, really simple. The haters, they don't matter. The uphill battle, bro, it doesn't matter. What matters is your ability to stay focused long enough for the dream to catch up to that hard work that you put in. And when a dude who's clawed his way through the FLW, the Elite Series, and the Bass Pro Tour tells you to keep your eyes on the prize, you better take that seriously. I'm telling you.
G'day guys, Carl Jocumsen here, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro. I've been fishing for a living for, I don't know, over 25 years now. I did it literally since I was about 16 years old. I worked in the fishing industry, but I just always dreamed of being able to compete in fishing, compete at the highest level, or just fish in general for a living. That's all I wanted to do. And when I get asked what that took, after about 10 years, I came up with a mantra. It was called Fear My Heart. And that heart is what got me through. I I sold everything that I owned. I lost everything. I moved away from my family. I moved to a different country. I scratched and clawed. I got kicked out, went home, came back, fought visa issues. You name it, there's been a brick wall in front of me. And the only thing I did different to anyone else is I kept going. And the reason I kept going is because it has been my passion. I haven't had a plan B. It's been, this is what I want to do, and nothing is going to get in my way. And if you have that attitude, you can do whatever it is you want, but you're going to have to be ready to go against every sort of block in your way, and you got to be ready to knock it over. Get knocked over, get up, and keep going. That's it.
Man, Carl Jocumsen might have the craziest origin story in all of professional fishing, from my opinion. When he says fear my heart, he absolutely means it. This dude literally willed his way into the Elite Series. There is nobody in this sport whose journey is as unlikely or as inspiring. Carl dropped a lot of knowledge in this thing that I hope y'all listen to. He said, since I was 16, all I wanted to do was fish for a living. So what does that mean? Most likely, I'm inferring a lot of these things. While other kids were out partying, dating, going to school dances, going out drinking, clubbing, dude was working in a tackle shop, fishing club derbies. His dream wasn't normal. He wasn't doing what all the other kids were doing. But that's what makes it pure. And same as Carl, that was my dream from an early age. I wanted to be a fishing guide in the Everglades or somewhere in South Florida. Fishing has always been the heartbeat of everything that I have done. And the fishing evolves, but that childhood spark, it's never left me. I got asked on Scales and Tails podcast, was there a time in your life, whether it was college or school, when you dropped the fishing rod and kind of deviated? I'm telling y'all, that's never happened. I've never dropped the fishing rod or this passion. This is the one thing that has stayed true and pure my entire life. And Carl's mantra, that fear my heart mantra, that hits me hard every time I hear it. Because what he isn't saying is fear my talent, or fear my sponsors, or fear my success, or fear my income. He said, fear my heart. It's the one thing that nobody is going to be able to take from you. Heart, that's the fuel that carries you through hell and back. For me, my heart's carried me through my corporate career. It's why the current exists. It's why I moved and quit my job to chase this dream. And it's why this series is even being filmed right now. Heart is the one thing in this world that you are never ever going to fake. And Carl is as damn near electric or radioactive. And when Carl said that, man, he had to move across the country, or across the world, excuse me, not across the country, across the world. The guy is from Australia. Y'all know how far that is? Y'all know how far it is, how long it takes to get there? The price of a real dream is literally everything. You've got to be able to give up everything. Not just some stuff. You got to be able to give up everything. Not just the convenient things like drinking or, partying. Everything. And most people, they never chase a dream because they see the cost and then they just turn around and back out. They don't want to lose comfort. They don't want to leave home. They don't want to risk looking stupid. Carl literally moved across the world, slept in his car, then got kicked out of the country and came back. Bro, he had nothing but heart, nothing but belief in his journey. And for me, I didn't have to up and quit my job. I could have continued to just do this on the side. What the heck, let me be comfortable. Let me keep getting that paycheck every 2 weeks. And I didn't have to sleep in cars going to tournaments. I didn't have to sleep in the bed of my truck. I didn't have to go muskie fishing every other weekend just to try to chase some fish of 10,000 casts or fish of however many thousand casts. For me, it's going to be tens and tens of thousands because I've hooked one. I've had 23 followers, had 25 days on the water through snow, through rain, through freezing cold temperatures, eyes straight up icing over to catch that one fish. But I ain't giving up. I'm going to catch that fish one of these days. And I haven't lost everything like Carl has, but I am leaving a lot of things behind, like my career, like just this safety net of getting a paycheck all the time. I'm leaving a lot of things behind, and I'm willing to leave a lot of other things behind to make this a reality. This quote whacked me over the head. The only thing I did different than anyone else is I kept going and pushing through some of the times that I know Carl has had to is just insane. It just goes to show that talent can sometimes be overrated, that connections, they're not just going to save you, that money, it isn't enough. And the only thing that matters, it's persistence, but with purpose. You're never going to catch a PB by quitting early. You don't learn a new technique like fishing a glide bait or throwing a minnow or cranking a crankbait by just trying it twice or having a bunch of other rods on the deck that you can just swap to when you don't get bit. And keep fishing because it's going to teach you persistence better than any therapist will ever do. And I'm not saying therapy is a bad idea. I'm telling you from my experience, it's a great idea. But you gotta be persistent. You gotta stay dedicated. You gotta stay committed. And finally, something that everyone's gonna tell you, Plan B. Plan B, it's the fastest way to kill Plan A. Plan B means I kind of want it. Plan A means this is my can't not do. For me, I built a runway before this. 10 years of marketing in the outdoor industry. I made enough money to where I can float myself for a little while so I can be smart enough to build my audience, build my community, build these skills that I need to become a podcaster, do better at recording these, be a better editor, a filmer, build a brand. But what I did not do is build an escape hatch. I chose this dream to the fullest. And it's working because I've removed my ability to just up and retreat, up and get out of here. And another beautiful blueprint that you can just print out, put it on your wall from Mr. Carl Jocumsen. Heart, sacrifice, persistence, no plan B, and get knocked down, get up, repeat. And for episode 2 of Fishing for a Living, I'll leave y'all with this. Hearing from KVD, from Kristine Fischer, from MDJ, from Carl Jocumsen, you start to realize a little something. These 4 come from totally different backgrounds, different parts of the world, different paths into the industry. But the blueprint, it's pretty much the same. Believe in yourself, even when nobody else does. Work harder than it feels comfortable to. Protect your attitude. Always stay positive, be grateful. Get back up when you get knocked down, because I'm telling you it's going to happen. Keep your circle very tight and do not, under any circumstances, give up. If the greatest to ever hold a rod and reel, one of the strongest women in the sport, one of the most respected grinders, and the only Australian to ever win on the Elite Series all agree, then that's not advice. That's gospel, baby. Whatever your dream is, fishing, content, business, whatever it is, take this as your sign to start, and then don't stop. Because like all 4 of them said in their own ways, the only difference between the people who make it and the people who don't is the ones who make it refuse to quit. And that's all we got for now. I'll see y'all for the next episode, episode 3, next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Central Time, just in time for you to clock out and clock into the dream. If you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, or follow wherever you're listening or watching this from. Really appreciate the support and for y'all to continue supporting my dream.